You have a laptop or a computer, and then anyone. I think I'll be giving also people some few mics. Maybe you are also in the business or you want to ask a question, so that we can discuss. So it's very simple. The good thing that we have, I always say, when you have the internet and you, of course, you are sane, you have your brain is working, and you have a good laptop, you should be able to do something for yourself. And also, it puts you in an advantageous position. I always say it's one of the easiest and most efficient ways of making your money online, but not just even the money. I think it's one of those ways that I find it way fulfilling because it really opens up your mind. So I'll just give a brief. I think I'll have. I'm hoping to just spend 1 hour, so I'll have like three simple. I'll start with your social media accounts. I think once most of us have Twitter accounts, Facebook, Meta apps. That is Facebook and Instagram. There is TikTok. There is Reddit. I'm just like I said. I'm just going to give you what works for me, what has been working for me for all this time. Anyone who was an addition, I think I'll once I've done my submission, I'll give a few people mics so that at least they can give us the experience. I'm one of those people who really just like working, just like kufanya vitu, involve wase. What I'm going to do is just to tell you how to fish or how it has worked for me. I'm not a techie. I'm not a software engineer or anything. I don't do crypto. I just buy and sell crypto. I don't mind not do anything. I'm not a stock. I'm not a stock. sijui what. I don't trade. So I don't think you'll see me telling I'm a trader or anything. So I just do my own things online because I was able to identify a niche and I was able to maximize on it. So I think most of us have done something online. Somebody like me, I was very good actually. Started writing in 2014 when I was in second year. So I'm quite conversant. There are those people who've done online writing, whether it's writing assignment, essays, and those kind of things. But I was actually able to see a very big opportunity. So I'm hoping people are here. I'm hoping I have a lot of Egerton guys, especially this is more for campus students. Because once you master this thing from campus, it becomes way easier. It's also good for the older people. Kina Samoa, I want them here on board so that at least when you see when you see some of these things, it becomes very common for you. I'll just give you a clear way in which you can make at least $1,000 a week from your social media. So it's just a matter of how hard you are. Of course, it requires a lot of commitment, a lot of time. You can make $1,000 a week. You can make $5,000 a week. You can make $100 a week or a day, depending on how good you are. You just have to find how you're going about it. So I have like two. I'll start by just using the social media accounts, and I wish I was able to demonstrate. Maybe if I become good at videos, I maybe open a YouTube channel, just demonstrate how you can do this. But I'll just give a brief explanation. If you have an application that I mentioned, you can actually try and see what works for you because it's actually very simple. So from the social media, and then I'll talk about the importance of AI. I think I'm one of those people who have actually maximized the use of AI in so very many different ways. I think I'll give you guys also some of the AI tools that you must have. And then finally, I'll give you a number of websites that work. So the advantage of social media, it gives you control over what you can do, whom you can access, which client you can talk to, how you can package you actually become an owner of your shit. So it's like you open your own business. So if it's more like content creation, just the same way you have influencers. So you have to learn the art of creating something for yourself, packaging it well, and presenting it to the people. So when you do that through the social media, you become actually an owner of the content. You control whom you talk to. You control how much you're going to be paid. You control the terms of contract that you work, compared to when you use other websites. I'm sure quite a number of us have used Fiverr, Upwork, and some of those applications. Those who have done online account writing, we used to buy accounts, Shark, Uvocop, and those kind of things. So it's just a build up. Another thing that you must know that things are very evolving. So yesterday we were having a discussion about how you can writing cannot give you a car, but it's not really writing. I think people just think writing is about doing people's work. No, I think it's, let's say, Wi-Fi economy. So out of that, there's a lot of opportunities that you can expand on it. So I'll give a number of websites that you must do. Of course, I'm biased with doctors, so I'll give doctors quite a number of specific, or healthcare practitioners, nurses, clinicians, or even anyone, because the most important thing is for you how to get these clients. You can actually establish your website, you can establish your account. You don't have really to be a healthcare professional, but you have to know how to package your stuff. So you can be a non-medic, but you can find a way. Medics struggle with setting up the accounts, but you can be able to master and be able now to engage other people. And then I learned about career, how you can take this as a full time. I personally take it as a full time career. Some of the studies, further to this kind of stuff. For example, I'm not really interested in clinical practice as a master's program. So the things that I do in my master's are things that I think helps me maximize on this platform, which I found it to be very efficient. I can work from anywhere. People know me as a Bungoma doctor, so I want to move to Nyeri so that at least people start saying the controversial Nyeri doctor. I mean, it gives you that autonomy to do whatever you want. You can move out of the country, depending on how you've maximized your volume. So, number one, social media accounts. I think the social media accounts that you know, which I use: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. So you have to know what you want to sell. I'll use my example. So I'm in the medical field. I know there are a lot of things in the medical field. I again remember we are just talking. I'm not familiar with the context of the local markets. I'm very familiar with the context of the British, the American, the Australian, the Canadian markets. That tells you have actually to know the specifics. So if you want to do anything in nursing, if you want to do you have to understand the cadre of the different professions. So like in the US, there are a lot of cadres. There's just the normal nursing. You know, there are a lot of prerequisites that you have to do. There are a lot of certifications and accreditations that you must do. There are different levels. If you're going to do nursing, you can do the family nursing program. You can do the mental health or psychiatric program. You can be a public health officer. So one of the things that you have to do, I always tell people, you must do your research. So what are you targeting? You're a statistician. You've gone to school. The main essence of this shit is to just ensure that you get a way of maximizing your local market remotely. Remotely in the sense that you can actually do it whenever you are. You just need a good internet like Starlink. You can be anywhere. You can move to the village. You don't have to wake up in the morning. You actually control the freedom of how much you want to make, the working hours that you want to do, and you actually get good money from it. The reason also I've come out is just to encourage young men, because I'm one of those people who actually face a lot of criticism. Not criticism, but haters. I like haters. I'm not really worried about it, but I think there are people who come a lot on my inbox and ask me, "How are you? Is this, like today I got a lot of like 6, 7 people from Egerton. They have never seen me in that school. I don't know what it is, but they told me, Doc, I want us to talk. So instead, I may not be able to get to such a place, but I might be able to inspire. I came to realize that quite a number of people look up to me, which is a good thing. So I have that responsibility to also tell people that some of these things are actually very easy. We also a group of people who think, and this is I always talk about old and new money. So normally, like in my field of professions, you're a medical doctor, you are paid $1,000 a month, which is around 140,000. Okay, so that has been the norm. We do locums and those kind of things. But at the same time, you can actually maximize and make the $1,000 in a day. And so when you start doing something for yourself, you buy your stuff sheet, The simple mind will think, and I'm one of those people, the simple mind will think, umse anafanya hii, umse ni wash, umse ni wherever, and that is fine. But the most important thing, I just want you to see that it's quite easy. You can have your phone, you can see what works. So that said and done, I think I'll go straight to the point. So number one, you have to know what you want to do. You have gone to school, you're a statistician. Their statistics is not just limited to numbers. There's a lot of data analysis that you can do. You can actually expand to data engineering. The idea is to ensure that you have those basic skills like medical field. It's not enough to just to know how to diagnose, how to prescribe. You have to go an extra mile to know how to do things like data, medical coding. You have to know how what to call healthcare engineering. You have to understand, for example, one of the things they do is health economics. So I really have to understand the American health financing systems, the different methods of insurance, the Medicare, the Medicaid, the private insurers. So you have to have some basic set skills that is beyond your normal career practice, because remember you're working remotely and the only way you become useful is for you to have some of these soft skills. Sorry, somebody's calling. Different writing formats. You so basically you must be able to equip yourself with some of these social skills. So one thing that you've done research. For example, I'll use two examples. So I use healthcare and maybe something like statistician or mathematician and those kind of things. So for me, I know there are so many opportunities that I can do. There is one aspect I know I have the ability to tutor. I'm a lecturer. I can teach. I'm very good at some things I can do. So you go online. If you're a healthcare practitioner, you can go to a Facebook account. Let's say something like Facebook account, and you search, what do you want to teach? So I want to teach, I want to do tutoring. What are the options that you have? For example, you have done your research. So, for example, for nursing in the medical school, those who are nurses, they know about NCLEX. We have like 15 different prerequisites, things that you need to do. So there is HACI, there is JID, there is Kaplan, there are so many things. So you go to your platform and you search. A simple search on your Facebook will give you I use 4 platforms, so a simple search on Facebook will give you different platforms. So if you go to your Facebook account, you search something like HESI tutorials, or you search something like Kaplan tutorials, NCLEX tutorials, you'll find a lot of things. So you are more interested in groups. We have groups on Facebook, so you go to those groups. If you come to Reddit, the same thing. In Reddit, I think we talk of, let me just open my Reddit. We talk of communities. So when you search, for example, if you search statistics, R statistics job on Reddit, so you get statistics is going back from June 12 to 14. So you find a lot of specific, tailored things that we want to know. So remember, you must have a skill set. So you're a good statistician. If you go to TikTok, which is my favorite, just go to TikTok and search statistics jobs, for example. And one thing that you'll see, and that I'll come to it, you must be able to create content. You must be familiar with things like Canvas, and that's where AI comes in. And I'll give you some of the AI tools that can help you. So I have a premium account. You have to have a premium account because it's a business. So you create an account, you create content, you customize it. You can use AI tools to create some of these videos, so you can even record yourself explaining what you do. You'll realize that there are actually some good AI tools that you can use. So those photos that you see on TikTok. I'm not very good at it, but at least I know how to go about it. So you see some of these. If you go to your TikTok account and you search available statistics jobs remotely, you'll see number one, you'll either be given the jobs itself, or you'll be given how to make job as a statistician. If you go online and you search something like Kaplan entry exam, or you find such something like JD, you find that there's one, either you're being told this is how you can do it, tutorials, or two, how to exactly do it. So one thing that you have to understand is you have to identify, and it applies to different professions, nursing. In fact, in law, there are some remote online jobs, legal jobs that you can actually do. The best thing is to market yourself. So how do you market yourself? You get yourself. I was hoping that one of these days I'll try to create a short clip and share just a snapshot of it of what you do. So it requires a lot of time, of course, but number one thing, you need a premium account. The premium account must also be from the target country that you want to use. So you can't use a TikTok account opened in Kenya and you want to target clients in the Britain, or you want to target people in Canada, Australia. So you have to find a way of opening a premium account. Premium also means you have to pay a lot of advertisement for a good outreach. So sometimes I spend quite a lot of money on advertisement. So TikTok, you pay like $500 on Facebook, on Instagram. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Reddit are very good because you have a social program. So you can actually create a group. People can engage. You can have a live session. People can engage. You can initiate discussions. I like Reddit more because actually when you open, if you go around on Reddit and you search anything, whatever you want to do, data analysis, and you search careers or jobs, remote jobs, you will find them. So one of the most important things that you have to know how to do is to just how do you create a prime account, how do you reach the target clients, and more importantly, the consistency, the content of what you sell. Same way you have content creators selling whatever they sell, you actually marketing yourself. So one of the things that you must know how to do is self-marketing. I'm going to come to the tools that you must use so that at least also another thing is authenticity. So this someone that comes, they need your help. So one of the things I do, I have a live tutorial session for maybe nursing students. So I have to go to Facebook, create a group, advertise myself. I have to get testimonials from the people that I've worked with. I've done this for quite a number of times. So I have even self referrals. I can even convince these people to create a video just to show that they passed through me and this is what we're able to achieve. So that creates more authenticity on your side. One of the things that I do, so for example, I do a lot of programs coordination with the NCLEX. I think those who know NCLEX exams, they're quite tough exams. So, but there's also AI tools that help you generate some of the relevant materials that people need. Tutorials. So you realize a lot of people, one of the main careers that people do when they go abroad, they go to do nursing, and it's quite a prime target. So what you do, you need to have a good PR for your system. I think there are a lot of, I'm not a good person when it comes to digital marketing, but I think you can actually self-market yourself. I hope I'll be able to create a video soon so that I just share some of the things that I do. You need, of course, laptops, depending on what you want to do. Most important thing is authenticity and being genuine, because at the same time, there are a lot of scammers. So how are you authentic? Some of these platforms are very strict when it comes to even the account itself. An American account and a Kenyan account, for example, TikTok account. American account, you have packaged it. It's a premium. You pay for it. It has evidence. It has people that actually demonstrate that they have passed through you. So you get legitimacy. So it becomes even difficult for you to lose your account. And then what you also need to do is have a way of establishing rapport with the students. There's one class that I did today. I actually had 6 nursing students who coordinate. So the point is, these platforms help you get access to your clients that you want to do. Now, once you do that, you can have a medium of, like one of the mediums that I use Teams, I use Zoom to some of these tutorials. So you can have 6 students, you agree personal payment. So most of it, depending on which field that you do, so most of this, you agree $100 per hour. So you have 6 students. In 1 hour, you have your $600, and that is a good day for you. Now, one thing that you must understand, it requires time. I think even you just to create and build this platform, it requires time. I'm going to share with you some of these sites also that require the same thing. So the most important thing is you have to actually self-market, but behind self-marketing, you must have a skill of what you're selling. Another thing, it's about the timing, because if you're like targeting the Western people, most of the timing is at night, because their 9 p.m. is our 5 a.m. So you find you have to be awake most of the time because that's when people are at home and are relaxed. So some of those things you have to know how to get these people. Now on to the next important thing of how to maximize your content. I've talked about the importance of utilizing utilizing software AIs. There are quite a number of AI tools that you must have when you want to maximize this to basically come up with the content. So I'm going to just give an example of some of the tools that you must have when you're trying to share. So there are about 100 AI tools that I find very important that you must have. So if you want to do research, of course, there's ChatGPT that you must have. There is UChat, there's Abacus, there's Perplexity, there's Copilot, there's Gemini. So you want to whatever content that you are presenting. Remember, these are people that need help. If it's statistics, you'll be told to do a specific research work. So you must have a premium account of some of these AI tools. We have talked about your ability to create your image. You can actually create an AI video just describing what you do. You can use Photo, you can use Stability AI, you can use Midjourney, you can use Microsoft Designer. Copywriting, you can do Copy AI, Write Sonic, Add Creative AI. There is writing. People don't know that there are a lot of AI softwares like Jasper, TextBlaze, Killboard, Jenny that can help you with writing. Also, at some point, this is very important. Now, you're getting these clients from this platform. You want to establish the most important thing I said about this is your ability to have control over your work. So you have managed to get this group of clients. How do you keep them? So the same way it's just like Tinder. So you are looking for somebody to date, you are able to get them. So where do you take these clients? You take them to a platform. So mmetoana Tinder, mnabidi muongele WhatsApp or whatever. So you really need to have a number. So of course, most of the time you have to know how to get foreign numbers, American numbers, British number, Canadian numbers, depending on your target client. After that, you have to find a way of making them comfortable. So some people are even good. You have to go to the extent of having to come up with their websites. Squeezy, you don't need to hire, or if you're good at it, you can actually use things like AI tools like 10Web, Durable, Framer, Style AI to just help you design a website that is good for you, so that when people come to your platform, when you're advertising yourself on these social media platforms, you have to put your contacts, you have to put your website, you have to put some of the what can I call it? Some of the evidence of what you've done. So that creates authenticity. It requires time. I've worked in this for more than 4 or 5 years, but one is more important thing. You actually have to understand that it evolves. So what we used to do in school, simple writing, for example, it has actually evolved. There are AI tools that come in place. You actually have to keep utilizing it, making it more efficient, and more importantly, making it more appealing. Because people, you're selling a service, you're selling a product. So how you package it, it's very key. So you can actually you have to create a website so that at least when people come, they can go and see your content, they can go and see your work, and from there. You also now have to learn to create videos, short snippets, just showing, demonstrating what you do, showing you can actually have a live record when you're doing some of these things. So there's some tools like Clap, Opus, 85 that can help you in video hygiene. One of the things that gives you an upper hand is also your ability to be authentic and having your stuff. So you might have to create a site or a platform through which you can meet. So there's also an AI tool that helps with meetings like Otter, Naughty AI, Fireflies. I think I'll share a link on some of these things that you need to have. So there's so many things. There's chatbot, there's presentations, things like Desktopers, Slides AI, Gamma AI. So basically, what everybody wants to have an easy, efficient tool to it. So as far as social media goes, anytime, like for me, I have actually my good premium accounts. They're actually well put. It took me more than 1 year, some even 2 years, for you just to be able to set up some of these tools. It's actually authentic. I pay a lot for the premium advertisement. Somebody goes to this account and they actually can see a thread of events. And so this actually has cut off the need for you to use platforms like Fiverr or Upwork. So you have direct control of the number of clients that you have. Sometimes you can actually have a good day. If you are good at TikTok, Facebook, you can actually 5, 10 people say what you need to do. You can actually get jobs. There are a lot of remote jobs. Like for teachers, I'm going to share with you 2 websites that are actually very good. That you just need to be patient, build up, and you actually get teachers. One thing that know that we have a lot of immigrants, for example. Currently, the areas are talking about illegal immigrants. Most of these people don't know how to speak English. Most of these people want to go to nursing schools. So they're actually platforms where they enroll for English lessons, and that is something you can actually do. One thing that is constant, you can never be sluggish. You have to be up to date, and you have to keep researching. There are several websites that I feel like I should share that can actually help with other platforms. Before I go to that part of career now, how do you take this as a career? So those are just one of the things that work for me, that I have direct contact with people. And then one thing that I've really benefit from it is just beyond that, because you're establishing rapport from these people. So one of these people that I used to work for, I came to realize he has several clinics. He's actually a doctor. He has his around 15 clinics in 4 different states. So he actually hires me. He hired me on this clinic. So one of the things that I do in that clinic, I update their websites. I check on their healthcare financing. I hire people to do medical coding. I hire people to actually update contents of it. He has a group of, it's actually a big facility. So each facility has like 120 capacity. So he has quite a number of nursing staff in it. This nursing staff need to continuously have accreditation. So there are so many mini courses that we have created that actually ensures our staff development in it. So you realize from this just facility, you have a lot of things that you can do. You can give a lot of people work to do. So you find that you just go into a fixed kind of agreement, $2,000, $3,000 per week for you to do this kind of work. So the most important thing about it is also you look at opportunities. You're not just going to the same way you go to Tinder. You're looking at someone you can date and hopefully marry. So when you find these clients, you're looking at how can they help you, because they are professionals. Some have big research, like one research company that I work with. I came to realize this guy is a very big clinical researcher in 3 different continents. So because of your expertise, and that will bring me to taking this thing as a career. So you sharpen some of the skills. Now there are other websites that now you can use to create whatever you want. We used to talk about Upwork and Fiverr, but with especially with the advancements, there are so many ways that you can just create something that gives you $50 to $100 per hour. I'll share a link. So there's Arise. Arise is just basically you create a tool for customer representative roles. You engage with customers. There's a daily transcription site. There is user interviews. You do surveys. There is a bonus tip. There is a Remotive. Remotive is actually one of goods where you create newsletters. Okay, you create newsletters. There is free cash. Basically, you do surveys. Actually, I know someone who you can actually make a lot of money from free cash. You perform activities, you sign up, you. So it's just a matter of you playing, because there's some apps that actually. I know there's one app that is known as Apple. Apple, you basically create what I've said. You come up with a tool. You are creating an imaginary influencer. So you don't have to do the hard works that Kina Aziad do. You don't have to be an influencer per se, but you actually maximize on an AI tool. So this AI tool, you can check it, mega.apple.ai. So this Apple creates an influencer for you. It actually creates a model. You key in the instructions that you want, a male model, a female model. You actually feed the kind of content that you want, and you create an Instagram account for it. So once you have done that, of course, you have to market your. There are so many tools that helps you market your account. You can buy an account. It can give you followers. It can give you engagements. It can give you that kind of shit. So then from there now it's upon you to continuously create content. The good thing, you're not creating content de novo. You don't have to think. You don't have to act. You don't have to do like comedy, like what can I do? This is something that is actually generated for you. That's why I talked about the different AI apps or tools that you need to create some of this content. So Free Cash is one of those. There is Hope. So Hope sells you. Basically, Hope is a website that lets you sell your image only. So it has a marketplace that allows you to sell these photos. Remember, you don't have to use your photos. You're using these photos just to as a market. For example, you can actually sell a product. So there are those actively looking the same way a company can engage an influencer. So instead of paying this person 300,000 to just say, so most of these companies are looking for such platforms that can help you sell. So there is TaskRabbit. TaskRabbit basically it connects person from point A to point B. So these sites, I'll share a link so that you look at them. Of course, there are like 50 different sites. You'll find what works for you and what does not work for you. So that is something that you can just Again, it takes time. One of the problems that I've seen with people is you want to be here for 1 month and you want to, some of these people, some of these things, like personally I've done for like 4 or 5 years, just it becomes easier once you're in the business. So if you've done things online, transcription, whatever, it becomes easier to get out there and diversify. Now, I want to, because I wanted to speak for a few, just 45 minutes. And then I'll give people mics to share if you have a question, if you have a contribution, if something. Remember, this is just what I do. I'm not going to say this is what works for everyone, but it has worked for me in a very comfortable, good way. Career. So there. If you go to websites like Indeed, like Glassdoor, these are you actually have companies that look for individuals with different specific skill sets. So you can actually, for example, I've read a space about doctors, and you want to do professional medical writing. So there is the AMWA, American Medical Writers Association, of which I'm a member. You have to do some certifications. You have to do like my postgraduate diploma on clinical research, so it's relevant to what I want to do. You have to create those bare minimums. For example, if you want to do to an if you want to write something clinical research, I want to talk about diabetes among these people. So I must have certifications that I'm certified wherever, that whatever I write, the thing to it is being accredited and getting legitimacy, because at the end of it all, you're selling a very critical and valuable information. So the best thing that you can do is just ensure that you comply or you comply. So if you are a medic and you want to, how do you get to this body? It becomes easier when you are associated with a certain body. Just in the same way, NAT has a leverage for teachers, KMPD has a leverage for doctors. So there are so many of these associations that once you're a member, of course, you have to pay some coins here and there, but they give you legitimacy. So when you go to Reddit, most of the people, not Reddit, Indeed, most of us try to get jobs in Reddit, but they're very difficult. The first thing that throws you out are the bare minimum qualifications. So you find most of these Reddit things indeed favors maybe the West. You must be in this part of the country. You must be American. You must do what. But once you have your certification rights, there's a way you can go around it so that even if you put currently AI picks your resume. So one of the things that is really full on my resume is not how many people I've treated, but what I've done online over the past 6-7 years. So I really do a lot of these short certifications. I was talking about medical coding the other day. If right now you just search medical coding jobs, there are like so many different. You can pick them from the websites. You can pick them from individual clinics. Um, if you talk about data, medical data analysis, there are a lot of things a lot of jobs. So what you need to do is just to ensure that you have the right certifications for whatever you want to achieve. So take it as a I personally I personally take this as my main full-time job. Because it's what gives me money. It gives me money very easily, very conveniently. And then the good thing, once you have established a system that works for you, you become easy. You don't struggle. Because for me, all I have to do is wake up, look at my sites, look at my social media accounts. I wake up at 2. I just I anytime, even when you're here arguing with people, I'm tweeting here, I'm on this side, I just switch to application. The good thing about it, you can, the same way you're on TikTok, when you go, before you start talking, look for something, post a video, post a post through Canvas, share, you have your number there. You will actually just get clients. Sometimes it becomes your lucky day. People want whatever you're offering, depending on what you have marked. So if you just search at any of these sites, you realize people are always looking for something. If you go to Reddit, people are always looking for people to help them with something. So that is how it's basically easy. You can make ridiculous amounts of money. That's another thing that people always wanted. You can make a lot of money. Sometimes it's a good day, sometimes it's a bad day. There's nothing really illegal about it. But remember, most of these payments also that you receive, depending on how you receive them, you have to pay tax if you're using Skrill. If you're using the other things, I'm not a fan of PayPal. So there are different payment modalities that you agree with people. If you get hired, for example, at a farm, you have to. There are some details you must. So you're getting paid from a farm. So definitely your details has to come in, and there's nothing wrong about it. as I wonder before I bring people to speak, people must also take it as a career opportunity. Uh, I spend I spend a lot of my time online, uh, just trying to look. I really spend a lot of time online just to look what is new, what is upcoming. Some of these sites that I've shared, I also, in what you subscribe, I think I'll be retweeting some of those important Twitter handles that you must follow. They're always giving you updates on what uh, is happening on Wi-Fi economy. I have, of course, tailored my algorithm is based on what I think I'm good at, but you can actually create your own algorithm on what you work. So whichever field that you are, look at it from how can you make maximum from it. For example, for teachers, there are these two sites that I find them very interesting. Um, let me just look it up. Yeah, so there is Italki, and then there is NetTutor. There is NetTutor, and you can check it out, NetTutor and Italki. It's actually for NetTutor, they'll require you to have an American account. It's actually easy to find a way of going around it. You want to get an American account basically means that account is open in the American setting. So the algorithm and everything you get is from that setting. You have to invest in laptops. I have 3 or 4 laptops. Some of the laptops have been bidding it to me because of what I do. For example, if you're doing medical coding or you're doing health billing, there are some things that only work when you're in that setting. So you have to get configured laptop proxies in that locality. Even some of these websites, this clinical website, you cannot update this clinical website if you're not in that setting. So clients have to send me laptops to work on it, and it's working perfectly for me. And then I look at it as it's a volatile field, but you can only be consistent if you're ever researching. So I'm always looking up at tools. I'm always looking at how to solve these problems, and it becomes easy. I can assure you, you can make as much as you want. You realize you can actually. I know people who can wake up and they. I was telling people yesterday. I know someone who makes 1,000,000 shillings a day. Making 1,000,000 shillings is actually very easy. So you do these tutorials like there are these NCLEX to tutor somebody and provide somebody. There's some AI tools that you can use for study guides. They are fans of study guides. So if you are a fan of study guides, so there are AI tools, then actually there are bots that can give you some of these tools. So to prepare a good study guide, you can actually be given $1,000 for a study guide. So I know people who have specialized in preparing some of this. I think for nurses, you have realized NCLEX offices have been opened in Kenya, and I have a lot of nurses who want to move from the US to just come and do the exams and go back. So there are so many AI tools that you can maximize a good study guide with latest update goods for even $1,000. So if you can wake up and get 5, 10 clients for $1,000, you have $10,000 per day. Very easy, very possible. If you're going to maximize, I'm just talking where I've seen people work, you can maximize on medical coding. I know someone who does coding. He has actually invested. That's why I'm talking about taking it as a full-time job. He actually has an office. He has like 25 to 30 clinics that he does medical coding for them. So if you're doing that and you're being paid $500 per day and you have 30, that is some ridiculous or high amount. It's actually very easy and very possible. So it's just a matter of course, most of us don't know how to go about it. I try to get someone to speak, but is busy. He's actually in a meeting. So hopefully I'll have a follow-up with demonstrations. I'll try to set my office very well so that at least I can even have some video demonstrations to it. Can do a live space. I'll also bring people who I know can help in that platform. For different, I have a teacher, an American friend who is a teacher. He teaches Japan. He just focuses on teaching. He's a Wi-Fi economist. So today he moves Indonesia, wherever, just with these laptops. He's using the Italki and the NetTutor that I've said. I'll try to get him on board. So at least also when in the subsequent spaces, when I talk about teachers, this is how you can do your shit online. I have someone who is a professional lead. When I talk of doctors, healthcare professionals, I think that one I can help. When you talk about that engineering, statistics and those kind of things. And again, it's not that I've only explored what I think works for me, but I believe every platform has a remote task to it. Engineering has it. Journalism is one of the. In fact, I see a lot of people doing well in journalism, especially the era of the social media. So, as I wonder, before I give people spaces, I'll just say the social media platform is open. It's a free market. No one will threaten you. No one will cancel you. No one will come for your license. No one will threaten you. Nothing will happen to you so long as you're professional. You have invested in your skills. I always talk about spending time investing on your skills. I've spent a lot of time learning new shit every day. I am actively in school. I'm doing several too. I'm thinking of engaging a third master's so that at least I'm well prepared. So that even when you're looking for these jobs, sometimes you get tired of the physical jobs, but they actually, like I was looking at Switzerland, an application I made in Switzerland, they're actually physical offices that want you to move. So it's the headquarters in Europe. So they want you to do a lot of clinical liaison, clinical research, trials. There are these pharmaceutical companies like Novartis, like Johnson and Johnson. If you go to their website, they're always looking for people with this expertise. So don't be limited to. Again, I'm one of those people who is not. Of course, I went to school to do medicine, but I realized there are so many better ways that I can actually uh, improve my skills and myself. More importantly, I think this platform also it actually enlightens me. Imagine you are getting to know these AI tools, you are getting to interact people with these platforms. There are actually active tutorials. If you go to YouTube again, one of my best tools to learn is YouTube. I have friends, I have who have gotten into even Y Combine just from YouTube. So you can decide. I don't want to demean anyone, but but you can decide what content you want to consume. You want to talk about uh, BT the whole day. It's fine. You want to talk about my lifestyle. That's fine. You want to talk about the women I date, the men I date. That's fine. But it's always about what you decide to do with your time online. I think even with when Zakayo talks about Wi-Fi economy, I think they don't understand what Wi-Fi economy is. Um, I also just wanted to, in the level of professional bodies, for example, I was thinking something like KMPDU and KMA, instead of just focusing on doctors completing internship and going to this county. You just have to look for a job in county. Why can't they? Why don't we have our own associations? For example, the AMWA. The AMWA is an association. If you go to the AMWA website, American Medical Writers Association, you realize their net income is between $50 to $200,000 a year. So you actually have there's a placement form so that our unions, whether it's for doctors, whether it's for teachers, for example, we are talking about GSS teachers. I have a sister of mine who has done special education. He's one of these people who teaches. He knows how to use, I don't know if they're called braids or what. He went to school, he was in Marciano, and he did special education. So how about these platforms of ours when you talk about the government trying to look for opportunities? The unions, for example, for this group of people can actually liaise, okay, with some of these international platforms. They're there because they are actively the same way. These people from abroad are always looking for nurses. The America like now needs a lot of special need teachers, a lot. Now you can do a lot of that online. You can actually tutor a lot of people online at the comfort of your zone. For example, for special education, you are paid around $40 to $60 per hour. So if you establish your platform and you get around $50 per hour, you work for 6 hours a day, you have your $300. $300 per day is a good money. So once you're in that platform, you realize there's nothing big about making money. There's nothing big about making $1,000 a day. There's nothing big about making $5,000 a week. It's normal because it's in that environment. You wake up, you get a lot of. You find if you have presented your good tip. Sometimes you log into your Facebook account and you find a lot of inboxes of your premium Facebook. You have like 15 requests. These people want tutoring. Somebody has referred them to you. They've gone to your website. They want these materials. You have 15. So now on a bad or a good day, 15. And you said, I'm going to charge these people $200 per task. So 200 times 15, you have $3,000 per day. That is good money for you. It's possible. It just requires patience. You have to create. I think I will not share my private or my personal accounts, but I will create a video with some things so that you see how it goes about. I think sometimes if you follow my timeline, sometimes I share photos of the sites that we do. Sometimes I share a photo or a screenshot of a video, a Zoom meeting I'm doing with some of these um, whites. Sometimes I share just a snippet of this website. So I think I'll find someone who can help me create I'm not good at influencing and creating, but I think if I can find someone who has that platform, it will be easier. The most important thing of it is it's good to get out of your comfort zone. I have 4 or 5 jobs. There's me being a doctor, there's me being a farmer, there's me being an entrepreneur, there's me being an online man or a Wi-Fi economist, and nothing comes close to the Wi-Fi economy. Um, Nothing. Like, it's the most efficient and easiest ways of making money. It doesn't matter. The government can come for you. People were threatening, not threatening, but you don't have to worry about me because I know what I'm doing. I've invested in my skills. I can go anywhere and can still do whatever I want to do as far as solving issues online is concerned. I think I spend a lot of my time online. Besides bantering and getting bantered here, I think on the other side, I don't know how to use TikTok for other things. That's what I know. I use Reddit for it. My Facebook account, I don't know how to use Facebook much, but I know how to fish. But remember, as I wind up, before I give people speaking notes, fishing you must have skills. If you're in school, if for example you're in school and you're doing something like engineering, or what can I say, architecture, or let me say nursing. Nursing is one of by the time you're second here and you have I think most people don't like to read and research. If you do a quick checkup on the list of accreditations that are needed, for example, for a country, even state by state accreditation. I'm quite good with states like Florida, Maryland, Texas. There's even, I think, a day I shared about boating. So this facility in Florida wanted to take their staff for boat riding. So for you to boat ride, for example, in the beach, for example, in Miami, you must have this accreditation. So I just get a call from the hospital. I want you to you're given tools. I want these people to go on this lecture. They have to know 1, 2, 3, 4. So you will get around 15 staff members who will be going for boat ridings. You're given tools and you see them down. And actually, there's recorded. I think you've seen of these CMAs and team building activities. So there, you do a live recording, people tutoring, you give them tests. At the end of it all, a 2-day thing. Each staff is paying $500 for you. So 2 days, 500 times 15, that is a lot, $4,500 in 2 days. It's good. You go to next. The good thing about it's always just the same way you can be an influencer. Today una influence simu, kesho una influence politician, kesho kuto unalipwa kutusi mbiti. It's fine. But now it just depends on what you want to do. You can wake up. I always say about the internet, it's just what you decide to do it. There's a lot of platforms. I think I'll share more on those tools. AI tools, you must know how to use some of these AI tools. You can create a very nice video, and you must know how to maximize on your premium account. You must know where to fish. But more importantly, if you want to take it as a career, because eventually you must have an exit plan. And eventually, the good thing about it, you can actually create a time. You can actually create what you want to do, because you can actually know in the next 6 months I can actually make this amount of money. Because, like, say, if you've invested on a website, people actually come and book on your website. So on this day and this day, I've booked for this. I'll be buying this study guide, and actually people pay down payment. So when you wake up, you look at the month of September, for example, you can see I have 20, 30 clients lined up. I know what I need to do. I need to go see what I can provide for them. And then you clear. By the end of September, worst comes to worst, hizi kosa za cabbage. Watu hizi kosa kunywa keg, mbiti hizi kosa kunywa fine whiskey, and those kind of things. But more importantly, if you see it as a career, it's actually very helpful. And in fact, everything that I do in terms of studying and boosting my career is actually geared by what I'm seeing. So I went to clinical research because I realized I'm working for this person. He has clinical. I think the other day I was talking about. He gives me 3 offers. You can come here in Maryland. You can go to Lagos. You can go to Canada. I want you to lead our research firms. So you're like, no. But if I was really interested in it, I have to go back. I have to have at least a postgraduate diploma in clinical research. I look for the best schools. I go to Harvard. I apply for clinical research. I get admitted to Harvard to do clinical research. I have a postgraduate diploma, clinical research from Harvard. So if I'm going to get if now I go and I search for clinical research jobs in Switzerland, in France. So the only thing that will throw me out, like the other day, is because I'm not in Germany. I don't know how to speak German. They wanted someone from Belgium, but it's not that I don't have qualifications. There's a job I saw, Johnson by Johnson. They want a clinical research in the Middle East area. You have to move around. So as you're doing these things, don't just look it for the money. I always say money is the least of things. Sometimes making money is not difficult on the internet. But so if you improve your clinical, if you make it a career so that you're improving what you do, it becomes easier. So you can get attached to a physical entity, to a farm, and that helps grow. Because one thing about online, there's always sometimes you get bored, but for you to ensure consistency, you must invest in yourself. Usikuwe mtoto wa kukuja hapa kutusi Osama, kusema venye alitubetray, umekuja umehate, sijui nini. As in, those things don't help. Umehate on book 10, umekuja kusema mi nacheka tu sometimes, but it's good. So you don't have really to worry. You just have to. I wanted people really. I don't do magic, but I think I've given a clear idea of what you can do. I really need to insist. It take at least 3 months. I hope I'll find a way of sharing some of those Reddit account and you see what it does, and you see the engagement that people have in a way that at least it does not also reveal some of these people's personal identities. So I want to. I'm seeing quite a number of speakers. I want to invite Wanyama. You can go ahead. I'll give at least 4 or 5 speakers. If you have a question, if you have an addition, I will appreciate. But more importantly, let's be people who just like exploring. The noise is sideways. Let's not be frustrated. Bora kona internet na laptop. Usikuwe unakuja hapa don't make it your business doing irrelevant things. Wanyama karibu. I'm going to add quite a number of people alafu we close.
Usiende mahali Biti. Can you hear me? Biti, can you hear me?
Wanyama, unanisikia?
Nakusikia, but can you hear me?
Is Wanyama speaking? Can anyone hear him? I can't hear him. No.
Biti, are you able to, guys? Anyone can hear me? Naweza kuwa najiongelesha bana.
Sisikii Wanyama. Wasema unasikia Wanyama?
Yeah, we can get loud and
You can hear him?
loud and clear.
So itabidi nimdrop ndakuje because I can't hear him. Wanyama, let me drop you and then I pray. So, philosopher, you can speak.
Mine is just to set record straight. I know you've said a number of things, and I also want to admit that I've been in this online business for quite some time before I decided to do other things. But for many folks who are here and listening to us, for them to get things straight, and I guess you have to give them the takeaways. So it is important for us to have a takeaway, because you've said a lot of things, and many people, I think they're on board trying to listen and maybe get some few hints or things that can get them started. So if you could really make it very simple, you've said a lot of things, but you have to gather between the chaff and see whatever is really going to make an impact to these people who are listening. So my request is, for those people who have come to this particular space, and they want to get something out of it, because you've really said a lot of things. What I will wish you to do is to give just a simple, manageable, or something practicable, because you've really said a lot of things. One thing that will work
Yeah, that's
out for them.
that is a fair question. I think let me just take notes and then I'll respond. I think that's fair. So that at least we also save on time.
Okay.
Thanks. Wanyama, you're back. Hey, mnamsikia? Anaongea?
Tumpati. Alafu Kenyan, you can mute yourself.
Eric, you can speak, Eric.
Thanks, Mbiti. For me, I just want Enon, you can mute yourself, please.
I have muted myself.
So I just wanted to add on what Mbiti has shared and what Kenyan is trying to ask from Mbiti to do. One, I would like to say invest in yourself. Investing in yourself doesn't take one day, 2 days, or 3 days. There are so many opportunities out here, and once you invest in yourself, there are so many other things you need to do. You can make money today, tomorrow, but tomorrow that chance can be gone. These companies have got a lot of dynamism. They can change tomorrow. They can say, hey, the budget is cut. So the US, the way things work, every year there is a budget, and they try to utilize all that money before they move to something else. So invest in yourself. Know that tomorrow this opportunity is not going to be there. Try to diversify your investment. You can buy shares. You can invest in money market. Put some money in this in the circles, so that if something happens, at least you have something you can run onto. Putting money in the circles, you can, let's say you have 10 million in a circle, that's $1 million every year you're going to get. If you divide that by 12, that's like 100,000 every year. So I think the problem we have, young people, once we make some money, you start showing off, and then all of a sudden things go wrong and you realize, oh man, what should I have done right? So secondly, there is the US has got a website for data statistics, whereby labor data statistics. You can check where the future of jobs are and start investing yourself there. Like right now, data analytics, cybersecurity, because any development of either a website, there is what we call DevSec, whereby every step of any development you must have security to make sure that there is no hacking gonna happen. So looking at those opportunities, they might not be available now, but you might be ready for tomorrow. So as Mbiti has shared, look at what you can start with right now, then start looking ahead, like tomorrow, what will I need? What will be needed? Because when you invest in yourself, that's a skill you will never lose, so long as you keep practicing on the same skill every now and then. So for me, I have a couple of skills. There is one called NDT, called non-destructive testing, whereby you test, if you do welding, for example, like airplanes, railways, piping for gases, all that stuff, and then you are able to determine defect in those areas. That kind of a job pays $70 an hour. But what American companies do, they go to India, hire, because people are desperate, they pay you $10, $15 an hour, whereby you see they're exploiting you as a person. So once you know what the rates are, it's easier for you to be able to bargain and be able to be paid well. So once you get paid well, as I said, remember, it cannot last forever. Start thinking of tomorrow. Secondly, I guess I shared data analytics. If you like coding or programming, start with Python. Python is a program that is going to be very valuable, especially with AI, whereby data is going to be driving decisions in every company, because you have to be able to tell a story, and what does that story help with a company making decisions in their either marketing, all that stuff. So, I mean, there are so many opportunities, but as Kenyan did ask, where should I start? One, we have mobile phones. Let's try to use those mobile phones for the right purpose. Either you have a big phone that you can be able to use the data to do some jobs wherever you are. Two, invest in a very good laptop. And I will encourage you, if you can be able to buy an iPhone, you rather invest that money and buy a MacBook because of its security reasons, and then you can start making money that way. So buy a nice laptop or a nice phone. There are some jobs you can do on the run. Then make sure you have a very good internet. If you don't have an internet, also, once you have your internet, also because power is also a problem in Kenya, try to get a power. There are power packs. You can get like a solar system that can sustain you because of different timelines. Then you can be able to work, because deadlines are very important to some of these companies. Thank you very much. If you have any question, I'll be glad to respond to that.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. I think that is perfectly put. I like the fact that again, Eric has come. He has told us what he does, and that is the beauty about it. It's a field that has a lot of just also to tie in what Annie asked. What you need to do, of course, invest in yourself. That is the first thing I said, which Eric has echoed. Number two, identify a niche. I think one of the things that people do, even when you talk about a simple thing like medical writing, you can't be all over. You can decide that I'm focusing on I'm good at clinical research, I'm good at lifestyle diseases, I'm good at psychiatric. So you have to identify a niche, and when you identify a niche, you're able to, even when you're bettering your skills, when you're adding some of these certifications, when you're studying around it, you'd rather identify a niche and maximize on it. Okay. Another important thing is you have to be consistent and always looking. Like Eric have said, and it's something that I've emphasized. These things are volatile. People, you saw like the hype behind remote tasks. I told people I don't know how remote tasks do or work. But the point is, they are volatile. They get closed. People come in. There's a lot of gatekeeping. The good thing about investing in yourself is you don't become a victim of some of these gatekeeping and things that change. So research, I think I like also Eric has brought some of these tools. Be familiar with some of these tools that can help you. Be familiar with some of these sites. I'm not a coder, I'm not a software engineer, but at least I'm aware that of what I need and what can help me. More importantly, always scan. I think first thing I come to Twitter, I go to these specific these accounts. I go to this specific YouTube channel. That's the first thing I do with my phone before I come here to banter people and to take tea. I like Wanyama says, what are you learning today? Always scan. There's always an opportunity for you. Always scan. Number four, have those clubs, boys clubs. Sometimes I like hanging out with my boys clubs because they're doing different things. You are always learning different things. There's something that when I'm here in Muskoma, I don't know, things are happening in Nairobi. Wanyama has seen something in Rwanda. Have those calls to catch up. I think that's one thing that has really helped me. And even when you're with your friends, I always say that I've never seen somebody and I'm like, I want to be like him. How is it? I just ask you, bro, what is new? Because there's like Eric has an idea that I don't have, Wanyama has seen something that I don't have, or there's something I'm working on. And when I come, for example, I like working with people who are good with software engineering and development. So that I have this platform, I have this pool of people, I don't know where to place them. I don't know how to give something to them that is efficient, that is appealing, that is attractive for them so that they can keep coming. Referral systems are very smooth, confidentiality is there, and those kind of things. So in a nutshell, I think those are some of the things that you can maximize and you need to do. Wanyama, I think hopefully now unaweza nisikia.
Unaweza nisikia sasa?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. Me, first of all, before I even speak, kuna kitu jaguzia bana, ama maybe uliguzia time nilikuwa away. Tax implications when you're working digitally. Uliguzia hiyo, please.
It depends. It depends. Like I said, it depends on where you work. If you are dealing with an individual client, for example, I've gotten Wanyama online, I've helped him with this, and he sends me money directly. That is fine. To M-Pesa, to your account. There's that aspect of it. I don't want to snitch or say anything much. That comes to you. Then there's that instance where you are working with a firm. I think in the US, if you're going to get anything above $10,000 a month, IRS has to come to you. If you're going to get money from any company, so if a company puts you in their system as one of their employees, of course you must pay these tax implications. So it depends on what arrangement you have. There are those things you can just meet, and that's why I saying there is power in you trying to actually get to the clients yourself, because you can not avoid per se, but you can, that can be good for you. But as far as tax, especially from the source, if you're connected to them, if you are the employee, they must do deduction of the tax of taxes. Here in Kenya, I can, maybe others who have experience can tell you if there are tax implications for them. The good thing about it, again, it's something that you can. Another important thing, traceability. I always tell people, don't worry about KRA, those kind of things. So long as there is traceability, you can actually say, this is what I did, this is what I did, this is how I got paid, this is what I did, this I did, this is what I got paid. Channels on how you get money, I think also they are very, very, and the good thing about these models of funds transfer, there are so many. They have also their, you know, like in the US, they are restricted. They have to comply to some things. There are some limits and those kind of things. So if we just make sure whatever you do, you're doing it well. You can account for what you do. Nobody can threaten you because it's your skill. Nobody can try to malign you. Of course, we have funny characters, and I like what Erica said. I think it's important that you don't think just about the money, because I always say, I'm one of those people who say, if today I lose everything that I have, if I got married to someone like what Tyree is going through and it takes half of my or all of my properties, I can always start up. I can always pick myself up from ground. If today I got fired and I lost everything, I always believe so long as I'm healthy, I can always come back up. That is the power of investing in yourself. More importantly, know how to invest also the money. Sometimes the money comes in too fast. I think there's a time I was even shocked. I was sweating. You know, you see money, you see money coming right, left, and center. Sometimes you just come and you are happy. You just want to share with people. It's not that you have a lot of money. I think sometimes when you start handling money, you learn a lot of things about it. That it's just money, nothing more. It shouldn't define you as a person. It's a platform that you have been blessed. So know how to basically improve on yourself so that you're always relevant and consistent on it. Don't, again, another thing I've realized, of course, one thing that I also have to say there, of course, there are scammers in this online system. I always say, how do you tell a scammer? A scammer cannot explain what they do. You're telling me you're doing Forex. You have learned about Forex. You know the basics of Forex. I have traded myself. I know a lot about crypto. I do buy and sell crypto. So if you're coming to tell me that you are doing this, I must be able to understand what you're telling me. You must show that A plus B is equals to C. This is how you're arriving at C. So of course, there are so many people who have destroyed the venue of this online business. That goes without say. There are people who are scamming people. There are people who are doing fraudulent things like carding, like stealing people's information. That shit happens. But for you, it's very, and that's why I felt like it's important I come up with this, because there are some people who want, and I came to realize it's the nature of human beings. Sometimes you just want to learn what this person is doing. It might not work for you, but it works for me if you pick 1, 2, or 3 things. Sorry, I've spoken much. Maybe you can go ahead, Wanyama. I have I'll give 5, 6 people, and then
before Wanyama,
Eric,
I just wanted to add something there. On about taxes in the US. If you earn more than $600, you are considered an independent contractor. You'll be given a form called 1099 for you to pay taxes. So if you are employed, you'll be given a form W2, which shows how much tax. So sometimes these jobs online do not make sense for anyone living in the United States because of the tax implication. But for you, someone out there, making $500 a day is a lot of money, so long as you manage that money. As I'm saying, to manage that money well. Life in the US, we considering housing, medical, all that, it's a lot. But you staying at home and you know how things work, you can be able to navigate those things. It's so easy. What I'm encouraging everyone, if you get an opportunity, even if you are making $100, that's $10,000 a day. You will have a great life if you can manage that money. And if you are not able to know which areas you can be able to invest, try to look around. As I shared, you can look at circles, money market. Money market is like you can be paid monthly or you can be paid yearly on that money. Look at buying shares like Nairobi Security Exchange. Looking at when you're buying Nairobi Security Exchange, you are thinking of retirement, because right now you don't have a retirement job, but you want in the future when you turn 60, you cannot do all this kind of jobs so much. At least you can have something you're going to earn either monthly or per year, and then you divide that money into monthly so that you can earn something whereby you're not working. I think this is an area whereby maybe the government hasn't done enough to encourage the culture into people of saving money. But also, I'm encouraging if you can create clubs, like meetup clubs, like you meet common interest. If you are going to talk about financial literacy, you meet, maybe someone is more of a informed, they can come and share their information because they have done it. Sometimes people come here online because they want to get a follow-up or people to follow them up. Then they don't know really what's going on. I mean, doing that will help people, young people, be more informed, know what they are doing. I know in Kenya we have buying shares, but those shares are controlled by very few people up there who have a lot of money. If I want to buy shares in the Nairobi Security Exchange, I have to buy in lots of hundreds, and then I have to wait. In the US, if I want to buy a fraction of Apple share right now, I have an app I can just buy from my house. If I have enough money, I can make $100 or $200 every day if I want to do that. But it needs me to be seated on a computer all the time. And sometimes those things are very boring. Once you start making money at the beginning, it's going to be very exciting. But after a while, you realize, man, this job is boring. I need to be walking out there and talking to people. So there's always cons and pros for everything. You just have to be open-minded and say, hey, this will work for me for a while, then I go. And also remember, technology changes every time, every day. You have to be able to keep up with the technology changes. I guess that's all I had, and if there is any contribution as people speak, I will be able to share.
Thanks, Eric. This is Wanyama. So, Biti may mention a lot of things, which I'll speak both languages. I've learned nowadays that a lot of the audience is a mixed one. So, I speak both languages, both Swahili, a mix of Swahili and English. So, I wanted to speak about 4 things, but moja imeongelewa about scams and fraud. But hey, thanks, Biti, for introducing me to Reddit, because your platform, people don't really engage with it enough. But it's not the only social platform that people should start engaging with. I think I've started slowly believing that every platform is its own usability to whatever you need. Kuna zingine ni za furaha, kuna zingine ni za kuchoka, na inchi kama X. It's just pure agony. Now, the next thing contact kuongelea is about networking. You see, guys, networking is a very important tool. Ni kama necessary evil, and you need to network both online and offline. Even if your main source of income ni social media, you really need to be in the circles that you want. When Betty spoke about the niche, I think even Eric mentioned about that. When people speak about those niches, it's people are likely to give business to whatever they are comfortable with. And I'm speaking about business because on the online arena, you're most likely to gain more from consultancy services rather than being a direct employee, if that even exists at the moment. So on consultancy services, mse atakubongesha based on all other things cumulatively, who you are in person, etc., vitu kama hizo. See tu ati what is your prowess as a person, even how you relate to people, how you speak to them, the things that you do when in those niches and in networking opportunities. When you're done with that, tafadhalini, kuna kitu inaitwa sustainability. Personally, I got into this digital side. Many of you know nili delve into governance talks. The reason for that is not really, that's on X, that's my kind of civic duty. But one thing you have to realize in all social platforms, because on LinkedIn as well, I started diving deeper and deeper into how can you monetize LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of the toughest platforms you can do, because Uko, it's like the professional Instagram. Sorry if I'm heartbreaking someone, but the truth is it's like a professional Instagram where people are just coming to show off what they did, etc. But if you look at it from the point of what is it doing for you as a person, then LinkedIn does away with things like, let's say, websites, personal websites. So ni kama free branding. Look at it from that point. Free branding isn't necessities that you put in place, not because that you can a direct input into what you're going to earn on the digital platforms, but it's just like a selling point for you. Now, The benefit of LinkedIn over other platforms is this: mtu sasa anakujua beyond. You see, websites are a bit static. Mtu atenda huko aweke vitu zenye, if now today I make www.wanyama.co.ke or something of the sort, I'll just be putting there things that are very professional, etc. But there needs to be a human aspect to you as well, and LinkedIn gives that to you. As much as umeka hizo professional stuff, etc., LinkedIn also sees, displays to people that are following you on what exactly you are, what topics are you commenting in. If you're speaking about that niche, if you're talking as a person in niche, now you are involved in those niche topics on the platform. And LinkedIn has also very intelligent people. You can engage with them. And the more you engage with topics, the more you are in likelihood of being given certain opportunities. Kuna vitu zingine nimepata out of nowhere. Just with people sending you stuff and saying, I've seen you talking about this, etc., etc. People meet you in the ground and say, okay, nimekuwa nikikuona, I agree with what you're doing, but could you improve on this and this? And if you remove the emotion side of it, which was also part of my point, is online jobs do not need emotions. Blerick amesema, if you decide to delve into it, lazima tu ukule jasho yako. It's pure because no one is looking at you directly. So all those things combined, and taking all these socials as also a branding point for you, you will be good to go. Second last, sustainability. One other thing, as much as sisi youth tunakuanga fiti in terms, we are intelligent, we are dedicated, nini, we have to accept that one thing that knocks us out is sustainability. And sustainability in the sense of tunazanga kitu na very much energy, tuna dive deep, tunasema by the way I'm sold out on this thing, imefika wakati sasa I'm going to be a billionaire. Yeah, manze, it takes time. It takes a long time. It takes you being unajua unachoka, unaona ulidanganywa, all those things. So ukiamua you're going to do it, please just ensure you are in for the long run. Plan. Ukianguka amka, plan for sustainability in the sense of kuna time utachoka, who is coming to, how are you going to maintain the same tempo of delivery all through? At some point as well, when you make your first income, I really need people to think about the point of how do you better your art. And by art, I don't mean painting only. The art of you being a consultant online. How are you bettering it? So ukipata pesa ya kwanza, do you buy a better laptop? Do you invest in things like what? Professional photos? Simple stuff. But also the complicated stuff. Do you get better internet? Do you get, unajua saa zingine msee anaona, si kitu yenye nilikuwa nimeweka 10 Mbps ya safu imenisort. So why should I go to another bundle or package or something? You need to better your thing as you continue. Keep reinvesting into your consultancy. And lastly, before I give it back to Mbiti, there is a new opportunity that is people are not seeing. And this is Mbiti amekuwa akising about it in weed farming. I don't know if but hear me out. David. The only reason why Kenya has not taken up on weed farming at the moment is this: politician hajapata pali ya kukula. Mi nitasema I'll be the devil's advocate, niseme tu kweli, watu bado hawaja figure out how to eat from that business, but it is coming. Where I am right now, that is Kigali, Rwanda, wase tayari they are growing weed, that medicinal weed, and licenses have been given to it. If you find requests for investments like, let's say, $1 million plus, hiyo inakumaanisha that it's a viable business. People are selling it somewhere. And I don't think Kenya is any different from Rwanda. Only that Kenya, it will come in at some point if it's not already being discussed in the back room. Why am I telling you this in digital stuff like social media, blah, blah, blah? I'm talking about it in the sense of you could start now and create yourself to be a consultant on weed farming. Learn, go to school, learn about all those things. Prepare yourself, start being a consultant on weed stuff, weed and marijuana, MJ. Start being a consultant on it in areas that it is accepted, South Africa, Rwanda, etc. If you are possible to actually place yourself in that, kuna place yenye you have to accept that the digital space will change as quickly as possible, and need as well changes as possible. But this is one that in Africa at the moment, it is coming, whether we like it or not, it is coming. Reason nawambia maybe we should be in the space of creating ourselves to also be consultants in that if you can, and especially the guys that lack the bookworms. Kunajua si kila mtu ako kwa hustle na ni bookworm. The reason is if you consult for areas like, let's say, LA, California, all those areas where weed farming is really, really deep, marijuana farming is really, really deep, you get to also, if you hang around eagles, it's just the basic saying of if you hang around eagles, you become one of them. So your consultancy also sharpens itself. By the time Kenya gets to the point of now saying, we are getting into this thing, they will need certification forever they are going to sell the weed. That is a guaranteed. And one part of certification is the consultants who are at play. So wewe kama msemo umekuwa in the business of consulting in jurisdictions where this is allowed digitally or using all those platforms that we are speaking about, you stand a good chance to also campaign for yourself to get into the table. So such kind of things. But it's only coming from the point of, first of all, the talk about marijuana farming has to happen, and you need to be amongst the niche people that are speaking about marijuana, sing about it, and what you're doing in other jurisdictions, in your socials. Sisemi Mbiti anaingia huko kwa sababu anaongea about marijuana. If he decides, that's okay. But think from that point, because it's a huge market, and Africa, and especially where I come from in Western Kenya, they grow it with a lot of ease. And once these people get into the business, I think it's going to be a game changer. That's it from me, BT.
Thanks. I think I'll speak about it before nimalize. I want to give Eno, Onge, then Modime, then I'll recruit 2-3 more. I'll give the closing remarks. Mochache?
Yes, Doc. How are you?
Ama Modime, whoever anaweza anza can speak first. Modime?
Unanisikia? Can you hear me?
Jamaa kwa
We can hear Mwachache. Tunaweza sikia Mwachache, ni Mbiti amsikie.
simsikia, aendelee tu.
Okay, guys, actually, there's a lot to Mmesema which has been very important. Personally, I will testify something and nimesikia from you. Easy websites, most of the time when we get them, we normally fail on one thing. We generate that money 1 month, 1 week. It becomes so sweet that now you forget that you need to enhance your skills. You need to invest maybe in other platforms elsewhere. So, like an example of mine, I saw in Ekonahoma Lakini, a friend of mine introduced to a website that was dealing with AI. I made good money, but you know what happened? I forgot that one day these things are going to be there, so we went all round and round having fun. Then one day we were locked out of the website, so we were like looking at ourselves. Are we saved something for ourselves? Hey guys, no. What did we do? We had fun. To be precise, personally, I would request the Daktari. I am good in data entry, the AI training, websites. I can also do research. It's wide. Please, tutengeneze hizo vitu zikuwe short. You said a lot. Those websites are so many. Zikate. Alafu kitu ingine. The IRS, most of these American websites, they will ask for your identity. But I know there are those that don't do much about go take a selfie, take your ID. There are those I know that they don't do much of that. If they're there, please share with us. At least we make something out of them. Otherwise, you shared a very big opportunity, and I really thank you for that. Back to you.
He's done.
Yeah. You can hear, I quote him at the end. I quote him at the end. I have to switch to my laptop. I hope any question or
Hey, hello. Pete.
yeah, Madime.
Yes. Tony share a few.
Go ahead.
Yeah, first was there, thanks for having this space kwa sababu imetufungua akili wengi wetu. Personally, nimefunguka akili. I say this because I've been doing this journey as a solo person. That has been my problem because somebody mentioned networking. I always find it difficult whenever you try to reach to people and then you realize unagonga mwamba juu somebody wants to con you or wants to put you at the lowest hierarchy ndo umfanyie kazi apate the bigger cut. So hiyo ndio imekuwa one of the big problems personally, And then another thing, you don't have that clear blueprint. One time unaambiwa you must have this type of account, another day unaambiwa no, payment platform imechange, now switch to this. On all those easy kuswitch, kufanya hivi, kutafuta na nini, days zinasonga and you're not getting that money that you want, na unapata hiyo kitu inakusumbua akili sana as kama mtu anatafuta do. So and that's why you hear people most of the time wana doubt. Mtu anaweza kwambia online jobs haziwezi kupeleka mahali, haziwezi kununulia gari. It's because you reach to a point unaona hii goalpost ina shift kila wakati. Nikijaribu kufanya hivi kuna jambo lingine limetokea, nikijaribu kufanya hivi kuna kitu ingine imetokea, and you find most of the times these people are just there to use you or to kukumaintain hapo chini ndo usielewe zaidi. Na ni hiyo kasumba ya Wakenya wanasema hii market ikijaa watadilute the cream yenye wanaendelea kukamua right now, and yeah, hiyo tufia kwamba hii kazi itapotea when many Kenyans get to know of it. And then the other thing is yenye nimesikia mkiongelea and I do wish it happened sooner, ni kuwe na hizo like physical hubs where people would meet and have these real time classes za kuonyeshana njia, kwa sababu they are not happening. Most of these people wanaficha tu kazi zao, or they want you to stay kwa giza. And then also you find sometimes pia initial investment inakuwaga heavy, kwa sababu once you talk of laptop and internet, especially kama umetoka kole na kuna mambo na black tax na nini, hizo ndo vitu zimenikimbiza home. Mimi kuja Eldoret sieti kuna kitu muhimu nafanya, nilikuwa natafuta tu a man cave niweze kufikiria peke yangu, and you find vitu kama hizo. Yes, niko nazo, lakini once you get laptop wifi, then you have to get an account, and then you have to do another thing, then you have to do another thing. Unapata hiyo cost mazina kwa juu mpaka mtu anashindwa. And then sasa what I'm proposing for this problem in initial investment is, can we have unaonyesha mtu ana graduate as akiendelea ku grow towards that bigger keka. Sasa let's say umeniambia hii ndo njia, and then at least a day inaweza onda kama ka $50 ka $70, hapo unajua vitu zinasonga mbele, nikiendelea kufikiria nao how I'm going to prime myself for $1,000 a day, $3,000 a day, vitu kama hivyo. But all in all, mongelea vitu mingi sana which are very good, and tukiendelea nayo spirit, maybe some of us mazetu tutatoka block juu. We are barely scraping. Personally, hata sasa hii niko na hizo investment zote, lakini I'm barely scraping. Sasa zingine unamka 3 am unashindwa nini nafanya. At the end of the day unapata ni $20 umeunda. Hata unashindwa hii nikianza gawanya nabaki na nini. Yeah, so tukiendelea na hivyo, maybe wengi wetu tutainuka na tutafunguka. So thank you guys, thank you BT, and thank you everyone who has contributed. Support sana.
I think I just wanted to just nasikika.
Mwadime mute.
I wanted to
Mwadime mute.
Yeah, so I just wanted to speak on what those things have been said. I think Eric spoke about it, Wanyama spoke about it, and Wadime. Number one, there is you see, I will tell you, it'll take quite some time before you figure out something. I like the fact that you're saying sometimes you wake up, you know, you find that hakuna shit in happen, nini. But like I said, one of the things I said, you keep scanning, you see somebody just has to tell you, and that's the importance of networking, because some of the times when I leave, I decide that I'm going to maybe Nairobi nini to meet my friend, we go there and brainstorm. There's always something that I've learned that somebody else has learned, and somebody else has learned. There's a trick that somebody has used, the other person has used, and those kind of things. One thing that I've experienced personally, I think Wanyama knows me very well, because also your ability to, I have come to realize, for example, on this platform, not everyone is a good person. I actually lost a job in a very important clinic because I brought people whom I thought are good people. Actually I actually sat, I spent a week training them. I introduced them to the CEO. They were even given job cards. You can imagine a very good platform. These were like 6, 7 guys, net 60,000 shillings a week. Good job. But then you come to realize, number one, people start doing a shoddy job. And the most important thing about these things for you to get a good client is trust. As in the Western people really believe in trust. So I give you a platform, you start doing your own things. You try, you think you have seen this money. You see Mbiti has brought me, Mbiti is making this amount. I'm getting this amount, so you want to go. So I lost. Funny thing, these people were fired. I was not fired, but it really brought me down in quite a number of ways because there was a very big opportunity. I can assure you, for quite the cake was too big. So even in this business, there's a lot of really need to have a lot of patience. I think people just wake up and see the money. There's a lot. I always tell